People attribute the rampant prevalence of diabetes to either diet or physical activity. One common thing we are missing about diabetes and this increased prevalence of diabetes is the importance of sleep. Hi, this is Dr. Venugopal, Yoga and Naturopathy consultant and diabetes researcher. Now today we are going to see the importance of sleep in relation to circadian rhythm. Now what is a circadian rhythm? Everything in nature is in synchronization, like say day and night. So whenever we just get up or wake up from the night, it is daytime. In the 4 seasons or even the lunar cycle, the 14 days of the new moon and full moon cycle, everything is in synchronization, and that's what we call as circadian rhythm. Everything in nature is in rhythm, and body, our human body is also in rhythm with nature. And so whenever it is daytime and whenever it is nighttime, there are certain types of hormones which gets increased, and there are other set of hormones which actually should reduce or decrease in the amount of secretion. Now, so what happens if the synchronization is not happening? Say for example, so the stress hormone is supposed to decrease during a late evening time. So the stress hormone will be decreasing at the late evening time, so that our melatonin secretion will be starting to increase and we would start to feel sleepy. And we would be in a deep sleep, like say around like 1, 2, 3 o'clock, and between 3 to 5 o'clock, stress hormones would again start to increase in secretion. So that we get ready to get out of bed around like 6 or 6:30, around that time. So that is how the clock has been set in our human body. Yes, our body also has got a few clocks through which we know the time. Okay, the first clock or the main clock, what we call as the central clock. The central clock is in our brain. To be precise, it's in the hypothalamus of our brain. Now what this does is, this takes in the information from the sunrise and the sunset, or from the sunlight it gets the information whether it is day or night. So it is called as a central clock, similar to what our mobile devices, the time in our mobile devices, it is all fixed and controlled centrally. We don't have to adjust anything in the in whatever the digital clock we have in our mobile phones. We don't have to change anything in that. There's something else called the peripheral clock. Now what this peripheral clock is a normal clock what we have in either as a watch or in the wall clock, whatever we have. This has got nothing to do with the sunrise or the sunset. The only thing which controls it is our sleeping habit or the eating pattern, what time we go to bed, like working late night, and also the blue light of mobile devices. Now these are the things which generally control this peripheral clock. Now talking about the synchronization with nature, the similar synchronization is also needed between our central clock and our peripheral clock. Okay, so these two should be in sync. Whenever the synchronization is not happening, that actually increases insulin resistance, reduces the amount of insulin which is being secreted in the body. It also reduces testosterone levels. Yes, sleep disturbance also reduces the testosterone levels in the blood. So for diabetes patient, we already have these issues of infertility, impotence, and all similar related issues. To add on to that, if the sleep is getting disturbed, then the testosterone level also comes down. It also reduces the leptin-ghrelin balance. So the leptin and ghrelin are the hormones which tells us like when we are hungry and when we are when our stomach is full. So if the sleep is disturbed, and naturally what happens, our food consumption also increases, which would lead to insulin resistance and later to diabetes, or uncontrolled diabetes as such. Okay, so this circadian, it is always important to ensure our circadian rhythm is in place. Jet lag is one common example. Like what happens in jet lag is when someone is traveling from US or North America or South America, wherever it is, so they'll be traveling for 20 plus hours all the way when they're coming over here. Now what happens is, there is always a confusion between day and night. So when we are active during the day, they will be feeling very sleepy, and when we are sleepy around night time, they will be feeling very active. Why is that happening is because the peripheral clock, the clock in the what to say, in the wristwatch or in the clock what is in our house, so that is showing some time and their body actually is showing some other time. So their body is not in synchronization with the central clock, and the peripheral clock are not in synchronization, and that's what we call as jet lag. So jet lag is not just sleepiness alone, but there are hormonal changes which happens whenever there is disturbance in the central and peripheral clock. And as I said previously, the peripheral clock can be altered, peripheral clock can be changed depending on the time we are feeding. So please do finish your dinner, around 7 or 7:30 p.m. because feeding at night actually disturbs your peripheral clock, right? Which in turn disturbs the central clock as well. So late night snacking or eating late, like around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, is too late for the body to, to be in terms with the daylight or the nighttime outside at that point. So finish your dinner early. That is the best way to negate the consequences of sleep disturbance and also to bring your blood sugar level under control, well within range. Right? So this is just an overview of sleep and circadian rhythm. So in future videos, we'll also see the practical tips through which we can improve our sleep pattern. Thank you. Meet you in the future videos.